I'm gonna clap and begin, and we're gonna wrap this shindig up. So, as Sasha and Zarya move up to go start collecting the officers that they know where they are and get them off to the lifeboats, they don't hear the footsteps of Krutova stumbling her ways up the stairs into the engine room, kind of clutching what she's managed to grab from the munitions. And Krutova, as you get up and you're blinking and looking around, you realize you haven't gotten up to the hallway that you thought you did. That's close to the med bay. You're in the engine room. The engine is now going. It's chugging along. You can hear the steam rattling through the pipes, and the heat from the open furnace that Sasha has been shoveling fuel into. Adrik, you can hear very clearly where Krutova has gone as she's clattering up these steps. It's going to take you a moment to get up there. Not as long though for you.
Knowing that she's left her guns behind, seeing them lying on the floor behind me as we go, I'm going to pursue, but I know you had to drop them, right?
No. I got the wrong way, but I didn't have to drop the guns.
Oh, you didn't have to drop the guns. Okay.
So she's currently carrying a bunch of things.
Yeah,
you don't
my
know
hands
that?
are full, but
yeah,
you don't know.
Okay, then Adrik will follow, but he's gone back to, I'm going to try to keep an eye on the blood, but go bulkhead through bulkhead if I have to try to stay out of shot range, because that did not go well and he couldn't take a whole lot more of that. Yeah.
Krutova, you are now standing in the middle of this engine room. You know Adrik is still up and running. Your gun is at your side, but you're carrying as much of this gunpowder and whatever you've grabbed in boxes and crates and things in your arms as possible. There is the stairs off to the hallway. There's a stairs on the other end, and there's the open furnace that is keeping the ship moving.
Okay. Krutova stops for a moment, considers everything, and then kind of murmurs, "If I'm going to die, everyone is going to die." And she's going to pop open the crates that she has and dump as much of the gunpowder into the engine as she can in this moment. And then once that is complete, she's going to go up the stairs and head out towards the life rafts.
Absolutely. Adrik, you are watching as Krutova pauses. She's standing there in the middle of this hissing and clanging engine room, and there's like a moment of quiet that settles over, where you're not entirely sure as she looks between the stairs and the ladder, and then she focuses on the furnace and moves. And she starts opening up the gunpowder, opening up the crates of bullets, opening up everything that she has in her hands towards the engine.
Recognizing that I probably can't stop her from getting that in before I can get to her, I would like to try to send a message to Zarya, if that's possible. If I could roll magic before I attack.
Absolutely. She has to take her time to like open everything up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as she's like inspecting what she can throw in there and what she actually grabbed.
Okay, well, if she isn't in the if I'm seeing her before she's actually throwing things in, do I think I can get to her?
You have a moment where you have a choice. You could get to her as she's tossing stuff in. She's probably going to get some. She's moving, or you can have a moment to send a message.
I am going to rush Krutova.
Okay.
No, because if I go wrong, I need to make sure Zarya and Sasha have gone. I have to send a message. I have to let them know to get off the ship, because I don't know that they're already planning on that. I need to try to send a message to Zarya.
Okay.
I think there's like a magic roll of try to communicate, which is a weird roll, I think.
Yeah, it's roll plus weird. Gotta find my list of that.
Oh.
I would like to use the luck to make sure. I know it's a partial, but I'd like to like fully on like.
Absolutely.
Like this needs to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this can combine some things. This can do something that's beyond human limitations, which is communicate across far distances. And if you're gonna use luck, it's gonna have I'm gonna offer you an added benefit, which is you're gonna be able to observe. And so as you're watching Krutova, it almost is like time slows down a little bit as she's ripping open all of this. And you see almost in silence as you take a moment to try and focus on Zarya, and your mind kind of flashes to where they are in the med bay. And you see Sasha and Zarya arguing, and then like they seem to have come to some sort of agreement, but you don't hear exactly what it is as you connect with Zarya.
Zarya, you hear, just in the back of your mind, you suddenly hear one of Adrik's favorite kind of melancholy piano songs slowly playing in the back of your mind. This like very familiar kind of tune that gets played all the time whenever it's just the two of you.
Like a white.
And you hear Adrik's voice say, "My love, you need to get off this ship. You need to get Sasha off as soon as you can. Krutova is going to destroy the ship if she can, and I may not be able to stop her in time. I love you, my dear, and I will see you soon, I am sure of it. Be well."
You're gonna make me cry in real life. Is Sasha on a ship yet? On a boat yet?
I will say you guys are like, you're moving, you're getting the officers together. A lot of them have like started, they've heard shots, they've heard screams, there's a storm. Some of them have probably already started thinking about the lifeboats themselves, even despite the storm. You're able to get a lot of people moving. It's not everyone yet, but some of the lifeboats are dropping and leaving.
Sasha's definitely yelling, "The captain is dead. The first officer has ordered this." Despite the fact he hasn't talked to the first officer yet, he's just like, whatever will get these people moving.
You're yelling with enough authority, and you mentioned the first officer, and people already want to do this. They are moving. They are clamoring to get on lifeboats. And in this kind of chaos, as people are cramming into lifeboats, it's not that big of a crew, and so probably about half of the lifeboats have gone off, and the rest are starting to fill. Zarya, you're hearing that, so like your plan is in motion, absolutely, as you hear Adrik's message.
I would just rush up to Sasha, grab both shoulders firmly, and like she's completely pale, like never seen like this before, and she's just gonna say like, "Sasha, Adrik managed to message me. Krutova is trying to take down the ship. I need to stop her. Get off the boat." And I'll just give him a kiss on the head, and I'm gonna fly away, and using my wings, just bamp right to where Adrik is.
Okay, Sasha, his trust levels of her are very low, and they've been telling him a lot of shit about Krutova that he has not fully seen.
Hasn't seen anything.
He hasn't seen anything. The only thing he's seen is himself getting caught in her sweep, and that could be an accident because it is a machine gun. So,
and she's clumsy. I mean, the knife all the time,
like,
right?
He's really clumsy. He doesn't really know.
Stepping my hands all the time.
We are going to hurry, but he's not getting off the ship until he's like, everything is sorted with the lifeboats. He is still
Absolutely
carrying on, maybe a little faster if possible, but he was already pretty much going as fast as possible.
Oh yeah, as Zarya gives you this message, and she kind of wraps her wings around herself, flings them outward, and she's gone. Some of the other sailors are like, "I didn't see anything. Let's go!" And you just keep moving, but you're not getting on the lifeboat, and you watch as lifeboat after lifeboat launches until it's down to the last two. And Kratova, you are ripping open these boxes that you've grabbed from the munitions room, tearing open some of the bags, and are just getting ready to dump as much as you can all at once. Adric, you've sent your message. What would you like to do?
I waste no time, and I'm going to, with her, as soon as she's facing the thing, trying to get stuff in, not going to move slowly through the bulkheads or anything like that. He comes up and just sprints at her. Claws come out, the fingers extend, the nails are long, and he's going to run straight at her, straight towards her back to attack. You're attacking with the intent to harm, yes? I want to, yes. Yeah, I would probably try to harm.
Okay, you can roll to kick some ass.
I did get some of it into the...
Oh yeah, you are tossing it in.
Okay.
As you go. Like, you did that. No matter what, things are gonna happen here.
I'd like to at least blow the place up, if anything.
Yeah, you're starting to toss stuff in there anyway. So like you're throwing things, as I need to pull Foundry up again. You're starting to toss whatever you can. You see as you're tossing things, you turn as you hear this otherworldly sound as Adric rips out of the shadows and is sprinting at you, and you manage to dump some of the rest of your supplies in. And Adric, you are going to you're kicking some ass. You and whatever you're fighting are going to be able to inflict harm on each other. What are you doing? And you'll be able to respond.
Okay. Well, if I can.
You will.
As I come up, can I see that like this explosions and stuff is looking like it's inevitable? Like that, or like this stuff is looking like this is inevitable. This is going up.
So
dungeon?
Gunpowder explodes a little weirdly. The straight up gunpowder, it's gonna take a moment to burn and explode. And some of this is not super packed. So you're watching as kind of like these bursts of explosions are kind of forcing a lot more air into these pipes, and the pipes are starting to shudder and spew steam a little bit more. And so you'll have a moment, but it won't be super long.
Okay. As I come up, knowing that my escape from here is likely not guaranteed, he'll come up, and when it comes to attack, he pulls out that bone dagger again, and he grabs onto Kratova, onto her shoulder, and looks her straight into the eyes, and he says, "I'm going back to see the dark again. I think I need to bring a gift with me. Perhaps it'll please my patron enough to let me see my love again." And he'll stick the dagger into Kratova, rather than attacking her, the one that he got stabbed into him when he got his powers, but he also had to make a deep, dark pact, and he was gone for a long time when it happened. And he stabs this into Kratova.
Kratova, would you like to do anything back? I will say, in this moment, as I need to send Abby a thing.
Okay. Okay.
You can absolutely... You have changed. In this dagger entering you, you feel like cold, dark energy seeping through you, and like you felt like you were dying. Now it feels like you're changing, and you're going to be able to respond in a manner. Mm-hmm. You can decide how you would like to do that. If you'd like to, I'm gonna say you can pick your damage in terms of this, because you're going to be able to inflict some amount of damage back. And you have some options. Let me look at this. You can use teeth, claws, or magical force.
Okay. She's... This is... She looks at the knife and then... Well, she was making eye contact with Edric, and then she'll glance down at the knife and then back to him and say, I'll never die, but all of you will. and she's going to just her eyes will, like, I don't know, change fucking color or something, because now she's magical, and she's just gonna try to, like, kind of no. It's gonna be cool. She's gonna fucking bite him in the fucking neck and rip his throat out.
Okay. So, Adric, you stab your bone artifact right into the crook between her shoulder and neck, and she looks at you, and you watch as her eyes go completely black, like yours. And as you're feeling this pull from your gut, as this is happening, she reaches forward to get her teeth around your neck. Zarya, you bamf where Adric is in time to watch Adric and Krutova kind of locked in this very somewhat intimate embrace as he's got his dagger into her, but Krutova is now, she's got like blackened veins coming down her face where
I would recognize.
But they're also following the claw marks where Adric had ripped into her face from behind and like down her neck, and you watch as she lunges for his neck and they disappear.
Where'd we go?
And you watch as they disappear. You see what's left of the burning gunpowder and munitions that Krutova had burning in the engine room and starting to cause small explosions. You know that this probably isn't an amount to cause the whole ship to blow, but it's going to at least cause a massive hole in this ship.
I would just scream, and I can't stop it or anything, right? So I think she would just bamf back up to the deck, away from Sasha and away from like the crew, just to like compose herself, because she's like panting. She's so like anxious and just not knowing what to do, and like trying to like reach out to Edric somehow, like, are you there? Like, I don't know if I can roll or something, like just to try to feel him or something. I don't know if she still does, but
you can take a moment to try and use magic.
Okay.
Sasha, you're getting people onto these boats, and you're starting to feel the ship kind of rock in motions, and you see out of the corner of your eye Zarya appear in kind of her light, and
so like crumpled almost, like kind of like on her knees, just like, yeah.
Sasha's going to run over to her.
Sasha runs to you, Zarya, as you got, it's going to work imperfectly.
Yeah.
Okay. You can choose your effect and your glitch, or I can select your glitch.
Sure. I think all she's doing, like, this isn't very focused. This is desperately just trying to feel for him, to reconnect with him magically somehow, just to see if he's with us, so to speak, anymore, or able to come back to us in some way, but it wouldn't be focused enough for her to, like, be like, Edric, are you there? It's more just like, ah!
Absolutely. So as you feel like this pain ripple through you as you just had to watch Adric disappear in imminent danger, you're trying to reach out to literally any of the connections that you can still feel with him. Some feel super faint. There's still that one that almost feels like it's a knot in your chest.
Okay.
And that one's not gone.
Okay.
But it feels like it would be hard to grasp.
Yeah.
With any of your feelings. As Sasha kneels down with you.
Yeah, he sort of pauses because he doesn't really know this person or trust her, but also she's so obviously in pain.
I'm just muttering over and over. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't,
puts an arm around her shoulder. Zaria, we need to go. There's one boat left. Come on, let's go.
I couldn't stop them. I couldn't stop them. Just go.
We're going.
I'm not going with you.
As Zarya says, I'm not going with you. There is a boom, and then two smaller ones as you feel something just drop from the bottom of the ship. And there is an explosion out of the side into the water. As the engine stutters and enough of those explosions blew the pipes, that there has now been a hole blasted in to the side of this ship. And it's not, like, the ship does not blow, but you know that this ship is going to sink.
And then, yeah. And then she'll just be like, fuck, and then she'll just be like, Sasha, go! And, like, just yell at him, just and, like, push him. Just start shoving him almost, like, just to get him to go.
Hold on. You can come too. Look, there's
go, and, like, you just go in, like, battering ram, like, just trying to get him off the damn ship into, like, one of the boats. Even, I don't know if I can use my wings as an assist or something, like...
I'm gonna say this could either be Sasha can try and manipulate, or you could, if you want to do this physically, you could both act under pressure.
Sure, I can try. I don't think I have very much cool, but...
Yeah, so you'll roll plus cool.
Okay. I was saying.
Ooh, an 11. And an 11!
Are you kidding me? The second time we got the same roll!
You guys managed to, like, Sasha's, like, pulling you to your feet, and you want him to get to the lifeboat, so you're pushing Sasha towards these lifeboats, but Sasha's, like, tugging you along with, like,
come on.
Almost...
Yeah, it's just a little bit further, okay? We can make it.
And it almost sounds like Sasha is trying to do for you what you've been doing for Sasha all this time, is soothing, and you can kind of feel that doctor's authority that Sasha has had in the field as he's tugging you along to the lifeboat. And as you feel like the back end of the ship on the other side start tilting and the groan and creak of metal, you know that the engine room is filling with water and it's slowly pulling the ship apart.
Is there a lifeboat that's not deployed that's very close, or are they all in the water?
There is one lifeboat left that you see that Sasha had been, like, that's the last one. The first officer is on it, like, holding onto the ropes to drop it down for you all.
Okay, how far away?
Sasha's, like, pulling you that way, but you're not totally wanting to go. It's probably about 80 feet.
Can I try to fly us? I'd have to roll for it, unfortunately, and this may go very badly. What do I roll? I don't remember. Oh, weird. Oh, fuck, yeah. I have a +1 still, but that's thick.
5, 6.
Yeah, so that would... I don't quite manage it.
You don't quite manage it. You try and grab, like, Sasha around the middle and lift him to fly faster towards the lifeboat, but, like, some of your wounds and, like, the pain that just feels like it's radiating out from you is making it hard to concentrate. And before you can totally get to the lifeboat, you drop Sasha, and then you drop, and you kind of both roll a little bit towards the lifeboat. You're only about 10 feet away from it now,
Okay.
But you've hit the ground as you hear a few more explosions out from lower in the ship, kind of reverberating up.
Okay. As we fall, I can safely assume I'm just going to yell at the first officer, grab Sasha, and then I'll bamf where I last saw Edric, I guess. Like, just somewhere, like, I'm just trying to search the ship frantically now. I'm just like a demented moth, blind, just trying to, like, get around, trying to find him.
Absolutely. Sasha, as Zarya dropped you and you rolled, you're far enough away now that the first officer's not going to be able to just grab you and pull.
Yeah.
But Zarya is able to go. And the first officer is standing there, arm out, and says, Sasha.
Yeah, I glance around for her and just charge for the first officer.
Yeah.
Can I actually go to the med bay to grab the other doctor, and I'll try to carry him?
You had left from the medbay to do this plan, so I'm assuming you guys had grabbed the
Okay,
doctor.
good. I was really thinking, like,
Yeah, no.
Nice.
You managed to grab people, like you were in the med bay. I'm assuming Sasha didn't just leave the doctor.
All right, back to the blind bat thing of just flapping around trying to find my man.
You land in the engine room where you last saw Edric, and their pipes are blasted through. Water is quickly filling this room as you're trying to look around in this carnage. You're not seeing anyone or anything as you're looking down here. Except you do hear a voice, and it's Patrick.
Okay.
He's already dead. You can see him walking down the stairs into the engine room, and he just looks at you as you're frantically looking around. He's very calm, and he says, Miss Zarya, you need to go.
What? I can't go without him. I can't leave.
He's not here. If you die here... He just kind of looks down at himself and then looks at the water rising.
Patrick, do you know where it is? Do you know where the artifact is?
Yes.
Could you take me to it?
Yes. But I don't know if you'd survive.
I think it needs to be destroyed. I don't want my Edric trapped here if you were to die here. Or that brat Krutova. Take me to it.
He reaches out a hand. And as you grab his hand, you feel this slight tug. And he almost like pulls you walking backwards as he fades, like the ghosts in the engine room faded away. And pulls you through into what Edric had seen as he had looked in. And it's almost like you can't totally make out what's happening. Suddenly you're not in that engine room anymore. There's an alarm blaring. It's kind of muted and almost muffled as people are kind of running past you in slow motion. And you're in a different room. And Patrick pulls you along, and he looks very much sadder now, but he doesn't look wet. He looks normal. He looks alive. And he's pulls you down a flight of stairs into a very dark room and leads you to a box where he lifts the lid, and you look inside and see a tree branch. It's just a tree branch. He looks at you and just says, I don't know if you can take this, but this is it. All for this.
Sword. A flame.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything I can do magically to imbue this thing with extra flaminess.
You could attempt to use some magic and enchant a weapon.
Oh my god. I don't know if this is gonna go well, but... Is that weird, then?
Yeah, plus weird.
Okay. No.
Oh.
A 3. You attempt, like, your hands are shaking as you're trying to hold onto your sword. It's still flaming. It is still your sword as you know it. And you try and push as much of your energy into it as possible, but you feel almost like you're shattering as this is happening. And Patrick just puts his hand over yours and says, I don't know what it will take, but you could take it, or you could destroy it here.
Architect, I need you. Even if it takes my life, no one should have this weapon, especially not our enemies. I don't want to see it in our hands either. Please tell Adrik I love him. I can't seem to speak with him. And she'll give whatever she can of her life force, any holy fire, any of it, and just channel that into big magic. And just try to, like, go supernova and destroy this fucking thing.
Absolutely. Patrick watches with a sad smile on his face as you can hear footsteps behind, and you see that same captain that you watched die, that you had killed with that same sword, burst into the room. Except you managed to plunge your sword into this normal-looking tree branch. But as you do, you see that same light burst out of it as you slice into the wood. And as you're trying to force every last piece of yourself into this and destroy it, it goes white. Sasha, you are watching as fire starts eating its way up the lower end of the ship, and the first officer looks at you and says, "Is she coming back?"
I don't think so. We need to go.
Okay. He starts lowering the lifeboat, and you manage to hit the water as you hear the groan and creak of metal, and the fires are only getting worse. You hear more and more small explosions as various things start being affected by this. You hit the water, and the first officer turns to look at you and says, "I don't know where we're going to go, but," and as he's trying to explain that he'll handle this with you, you see behind him a flash of bright white and nothing else until you open your eyes. And you're suddenly hacking seawater. You are like being tumbled end over end as you're hitting like the sand and choking on salt water, and manage to struggle up to your feet. And you realize as you're dragging yourself up a beach, you're not entirely sure exactly where you are, but it's dark. It is nighttime, and you're alone on a beach. And
Hello?
there's no one.
Chornevsky? Zarya?
You start calling out, and there's no one. You don't see a lifeboat. You don't see debris. You don't see anything. And you look up onto the dunes of this beach, and you realize you're gonna have to start walking. Somewhere in a very dark place, Adrik, you had felt that same knot that Zarya had. It's there somewhere, but you don't think you're gonna get to it. And that's where we end. It's a sad ending.
Sad ending. A sad ending.
It'd be so scary for Sasha too. Like, I just picture this sweet young guy just on the shore. Like, oh my god.
Sasha's
We
tragic
woke up in
backstory.
France and basically just like walked straight into the front lines
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. Future past episodes of Historical Mystoricals.
Well,
if you'd like to know what happens to Sasha next, go back and watch
Also,
part
I
one.
think that Krutova may be a supervillain.
that's what Ian and I were like,
Yeah, you don't know what negative effects you might have there are.
that'll be like
mean-
historical mystoricals endgame, like.
Yellow.
We're creating
No.
we're creating the Avengers currently.
We're like the Revengers, like just kind of.
But
Oh yeah.
we didn't see any of our characters die. We saw them all stuff. Who knows what?
Things
You guys
happen.
went dark.
Flow?
I went light.
Yeah.
Did.
Sasha hacked. Hacked up some water.
Sasha
Yes.
just went to France.
Yeah.
I always have Paris.
So 3 people exploded, 1 person went to France.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for hanging out with us and watching us be chaotic as fuck.
Mhm.
That was so
Very
good.
dramatic.
Yes. So
That was so
thanks
cool.
for hanging out. And maybe we'll see you again on a historical mystorical. But until then, bye.
Oh, my heart.
Thanks, Jackie, by the way.
Thank you
Keeper.
so much.
Fantastic.
That was amazing.
Great torture. I mean, great game.
Beautiful.
That's so fun.
What ifs and some days are luxuries, not dreams for the bourgeoisie. What do you need from me? I can weave you a tune of love, wrap you in its bittersweet. I cannot sew a life made of diamonds, but will pull the stars from the cruel skies for you. No matter the darkness that haunts your days and the shadows you stalk at night, I'll stitch a constellation just for you. When you're tired and reeling from human wear and tear, wrap this around your frame. It won't warm you, but, darling, it'll move you into my light, into my love, until time stamps me out and you, shining, remain. Love, your Zarya.
Thank you, my lord. You are most generous indeed. I am glad that you find my gift worthy. She was very difficult. I will go. I must find Zarya. And thank you for... You wish... As you wish, my lord. Krutova.